I have a question for men. I feel like a lot of men are no longer interested in dating. They give up on dating. They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that is the case?
If the man is handsome, educated, has money, but still single, then what could be the problem?
Yes, men are happy being single. They are. They're definitely enjoying it more than they used to before. And cause I see it, you know, it's gotten harder to date, you know, lately. Men are very satisfied in their lives without women. They are. They're working a lot, either working a lot, or if they're not working, then, they'll hang out with their friends, with their family, with their kids. Well, with their kids, it's a given. But yeah, they're happy being, if they're not married, they're happy being, bachelors and having their own space and not having to commit to anyone. So yeah, this wasn't the case before, but this is what it is now.
It's almost ironic watching the realization finally set in. For years, men were told to step up, provide more, and keep chasing relationships or risk being left behind. But now that many men have actually stepped away from that game, suddenly everyone wants to know what happened. Listen carefully to how it's being framed. Men spending time alone, working, or enjoying their friends gets treated like they're simply wasting their lives. But for many men, it's the opposite. They've built peaceful lives around their own goals because they discovered that solitude can be far better than constantly feeling judged, unappreciated, or valued mainly for what they can provide.
And then we, in hand, want to get off the dating scene. So then we're both left screwed because all the good ones are out of the dating scene and aren't interested. When is this going to change, though? Maybe we all need to come back together and make it work?
Maybe we should come back together and make things work. But the question is, come back to what? There may not be a we anymore, because many men didn't simply walk away from the table, they felt pushed away from it. After years of criticism and pressure, some men chose to build lives centered around peace, family, purpose, and independence. Now that that lifestyle has become comfortable, reconciliation isn't automatically appealing. Many men have experienced what life feels like without constant relationship pressure, and they're not necessarily willing to return to the same cycle just because someone finally realized what they were missing.
Have sex anymore. They don't want to go on dates with women. They just want to hang out with their boys. Look, I get it. Men want to hang out with men. They want to do their thing. They don't want to care about women drama anymore. I don't know. Maybe someone can explain to me what's going on, because as long as men are not approaching women, they are going to be single. And women are having a great time. From what I've seen, single women are having a great time. Yes, maybe they want boyfriends, they want to hook up, but single women are having a great time. The single men, I don't know, not so much.
She seems confused, as though men suddenly changed overnight. But that ignores years of men saying they were exhausted from feeling like ATMs, scapegoats, or emotional punching bags. They were already warning people that they were reaching their limit. Once they finally listened to themselves, protected their peace, and stopped chasing, the reaction became, what happened to men? The irony is that the same behavior that allegedly pushed men away is now being followed by an expectation that they'll simply come running back. But once someone discovers the peace that comes from walking away, convincing them to return to the same cycle becomes a much harder sell.
To willingly sign up for the same cycle all over again.
It's Valentine's Day and 70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Dating in this generation is so impossible, and I can talk about it for literally days. It feels like every single woman in this generation is either a gold digger or a bop or both. And so yeah, a lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it. I wouldn't either. That sounds awful. I just saw someone say something today about how I would rather be single than settle. And yeah, me too. I get it. That's me too. But it's crazy because you'll see women come online and be like, men are so sad and they're so single and they're so alone, but not me. I'm having a good time, just the men are having a bad time. And it's like, girl, be so serious for 2 minutes. Anyway.
Notice how she takes a real issue and somehow uses it to position herself as a victim right alongside men. She admits the dating market has problems with gold digging and unreliable behavior, but then pivots to, that's me too, I'm not settling. No, sis, men aren't stepping away because they're intimidated by women's high standards. They are stepping away because they are tired of the behavior they've experienced. It's a clever way to frame both sides as equally justified, when the reasons behind men choosing peace are clearly being overlooked.
In divorced men, 70 to 80% of the time, I would argue in relationships it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl, and what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore, so he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid, so he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her, right? And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half. And take my kids. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. Mm-hmm. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
She's admitting that family courts can leave men feeling exposed financially and emotionally, yet the culture still expects brothers to blindly sign up for marriage just to prove they're good men. Men didn't suddenly become cold or irrational. Many simply started looking at the potential risks, the legal consequences, and the lack of guarantees before making a lifelong commitment. At some point, protecting your peace and understanding the risk becomes more important than blindly chasing a relationship label.
I can understand why men have given up dating, because can someone make it make sense for me how these women want men to text them back fast, but not too fast, that it's too creepy. They want men to make 6 figures while working 20 hours a week while they still have quality time with them. You know, if he has a good relationship with his mom, then that means he treats women well. But if he doesn't have a relationship with his mom, then that means he's automatically abusive. But then she doesn't want to ever talk about her daddy issues. If he's too nice and too kind, then that means that he wants something from you, or, you know, there's an assumption that he's just buying you gifts and whining and dining you because he wants sex. But if he doesn't wine and dine you, then he's lazy, he doesn't care, and he's not putting in enough effort. You want men to lead, but you don't want to listen. You want men to show their masculinity and take charge and plan dates, but not too much masculinity that he comes off as aggressive, mean, rude, or condescending. You want men to be in tune with your emotions, but if he's too emotional, then he's weak and you don't trust him to make decisions and lead. He has to be attractive, but not too attractive that he looks like a fuckboy or somebody that gets around, because if he's too attractive, then he has too many options. But if he's not attractive enough, then you're not even looking in his direction. If he has a child and a baby mom, then you automatically assume that, you know, what baby mom would want to be single, and that makes him toxic. But if he's never been married or in a committed relationship, then that also makes him toxic, and that's a red flag because he's never been in a relationship before. You want men to initiate the dating stages of a relationship. You want men to initiate sex, but then when he stops initiating sex, then you assume that he's cheating on you. You want men to be honest and open and upfront, but your idea of honest and open and upfront is basically him telling you only the truth that validate your feelings and your experiences, because the moment that he invalidates how you feel, now he's narcissistic, he's abusive, and he is mentally and emotionally using you and abusing you.
You want a man to lead, but you refuse to listen. You want him to wine and dine you, but the moment he does, you assume he must have an agenda. At that point, it stops feeling like dating and starts feeling like a constant test where the rules keep changing. A lot of men have simply stepped back after realizing that money, looks, and effort don't guarantee appreciation or a healthy relationship. When the goalposts keep moving and every attempt is met with suspicion, choosing peace starts to look a lot more appealing.
So I saw this interview of a guy asking a girl what she brings to the table, and her response is exactly why men are tired of dating. She basically said she doesn't have to bring anything to the table and got offended that he even asked her that question. This entitled mindset is why men are walking away from dating. Here's what I realized. Men have been taught since birth how to treat women, but we as women are taught our entire lives how to be treated by a man, not how to treat a man. Like, think about it. From the time we're little girls, we're told what we deserve, what we should expect, what standards we should have, but nobody teaches us what we should give, how we should support, or what we should contribute. Men from a very early age learn about respect, providing, protecting, leading, and making a woman feel valued. But what are women learning? How to receive, demand, expect, and be catered to? We're taught that we're queens who deserve to be worshipped, but nobody teaches us how to be the type of woman worth worshiping. And the dating advice women get from other women is so toxic. We have this mentality, if he won't, then someone else will. So if he won't pay for your dates or buy you expensive gifts or treat you like a queen, then guess what? Someone else will. Like, that's basically the dating advice for women, and it's so messed up. Like, imagine if the roles were reversed and men were like, if she can't cook or won't clean or support or respect me, then someone else will. Women would lose their freaking minds. And then y'all would start calling that toxic masculinity. We've literally created a generation of women who think they deserve everything while bringing absolutely nothing to the table. And then we wonder why men are walking away from dating altogether. Men are expected to have money, a career, a car, a house, emotional intelligence, leadership skills, the ability to provide and protect. But when they ask what women bring, suddenly that's offensive. Meanwhile, men are working on themselves, building their careers, focusing on their fitness and finances, learning how to be a better partner. And what are women doing? Complaining that there are no good men while refusing to become good women.
Let's keep it real about that final point. She's complaining about women wanting more while ignoring the need for accountability and self-improvement. For years, asking a man, "What do you do?" has been treated as completely normal. Yet a man asking, "What do you bring to the table?" can instantly be framed as offensive. You can't demand traditional provider benefits while rejecting traditional cooperation and responsibility. Many men didn't walk away because dating became too difficult. They walked away because they realized that peace, independence, and building their own lives can be more rewarding than constantly feeling pressure to prove their worth. And when the expectations keep changing while accountability remains one-sided, more men are simply choosing to step back. That isn't giving up, it's making a different choice. If you want more commentary like this, make sure to like and subscribe.